Yeah.
But honestly, I'd rather have a long arm than a short arm. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. You are 220 pounds.
Oh, okay.
Left hand and right hand. Oh, yeah.
All right. Hi, guys. Another video. This time we have another awesome arm wrestler from the Ottawa High Hookers, Jon, also known as Slim Reaper. Jon is a top 10 arm wrestler in Ontario.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah, ninth.
Right hand
and left.
10th on the left.
Awesome. Now Jon's been arm wrestling for 4 years.
Almost 4 years, yeah.
Yeah, started in 2020.
2020 September to be exact.
Yeah. Now you are incredible now. I feel like you're at a very high level. So tell us about your journey to get to this level since you started it.
Well, honestly, when I first started, I wasn't one of those guys that were like super good right off the bat, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like I have a basketball background, so I didn't really work out with weights too much when I first grew up.
You're really tall, right?
Yeah.
You're like 6'8", 6'7". 6'7", yeah.
So I never really did much weight training. Yeah. But then after college, I stopped playing sports, right? And just like everybody else, we're all on the internet. And one day I fell upon an arm wrestling video.
Yeah.
And people were arm wrestling.
Do you remember your first video that you saw?
I don't remember what video it was, but I'm sure it was something with Devon.
Yeah.
It was definitely something with Devon in WAL, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a real sport. Because everybody in the world, that's one thing with arm wrestling. Everyone has arm wrestled on the kitchen table, on the counter, with a cousin, with an uncle.
Yeah.
And I was never good at it. I was always get beat. And then when I figured out that it was a real sport, I'm like, damn, let me get into it. But when maybe 4 years ago, it wasn't that easy to find arm wrestling clubs, right?
Yeah.
So for the first maybe 6 months, all I did was watch videos. And then I fell upon Devon. And that's when he created this thing called, what was it? Armbet?
Armbet, yeah. I think I met you on Armbet.
Yeah, I think we both met each other on Armbet.
Oh my God, Armbet. Yeah, I met a lot of people on Armbet.
I think you were probably like the third person I ever arm wrestled. And even then, you were giving me trouble.
Yeah, I remember you were kind of maybe a lot, actually. You didn't know what to do, but you have a lot of side pressure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I got onto arm wrestling. And I've got an interview before about my beginnings. I forgot one person, so I can't forget him this time.
Yeah.
And it's Robert Genson. He was the first person to actually answer one of my messages. Because I think there was 30 people on the app. It was you and Robin that answered.
Yeah.
Everybody else didn't answer. So he was pretty much the first person that pretty much introduced me to arm wrestling.
Yeah.
And like, since then, a lot of training has happened.
So Robin introduced you to the club, Ottawa High Hookers.
Indeed.
Again, the best club.
The best club in the world.
Yes.
Hands down.
Yeah.
And if you think yours is, you're lying to yourself.
Yeah. Look at all our videos on YouTube, and you know why.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But the journey has been a sweet journey. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I've come a long way, I would definitely have to say.
Yeah. I remember you climbing out the ladder, starting off basically from the bottom.
Pretty much.
More competitive. Each year you got to a higher level, competing against better arm wrestlers every time.
Yeah.
Right? So I can imagine maybe in 3 or 4 years where you're going to be. National,
Who knows? The sky's the limit, man. When you believe, you can achieve.
Yeah, for sure. So talk about what you plan this weekend. There's a tournament from, it's in Picton.
In Picton, There's definitely a great tournament out there in Picton. I was there last year. Finished third at 240 pounds.
240, yeah.
But I'm not really a heavy guy. So I was kind of in the smaller side of that class. But this year, I'm doing the cut to 210 pounds.
Oh, watch out. Those guys going to be...
And I feel like that will be a more competitive weight class for me, and I'm coming for the number one.
Yeah, for sure. Picton tournament is quite a high level, right?
Yeah, I think there's very good pullers that will show up this time.
Yeah, especially people that are in Ontario, right?
Exactly.
So the training, let's talk about the training. So how was training camp, and what did you do? How did you plan it, and how did you get to this point? I know that this week you're not pulling at all.
Yeah.
So talk about your training, and so how do you optimize your training?
So me, I'm the type of guy that I don't like to complicate my training. I'm very simplified, and every training block is for a particular strength or a particular way of what I want to do. So since December, I've changed my training from what I used to do prior. Before, I was more of a guy that did a lot of reps, a lot of sets for blood flow, for more endurance. But I've realized that in arm wrestling, the number one rule is to be what?
Strong.
Strong.
Right? Yeah.
So then I pretty much transformed all my training into pretty much lifting heavy. So what I've been doing lately is pretty much lifting heavy.
Yeah. So you want to basically lift more.
Exactly.
Each training camp, right?
Each training camp.
Yeah. Now let's talk about your physical feature, because you're really tall and have a really long lever. Talk about the advantages that you have and the disadvantages that you might encounter doing a competitive match.
Definitely. Like everything in life, there's advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah.
So the advantages I feel with me having a big hand, long arm, I feel that top rolling comes naturally.
Yeah.
Just because of leverage, because most guys don't really match my height when it comes to leverage.
Actually, 99.99% of people.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So top rolling just came easy. So to me, that's the first thing I got comfortable with in arm wrestling was back pressure, pronation, rising. That came naturally to me.
Yeah.
And that was one of the biggest advantages I felt against other pullers when I first started, and today still.
Yeah.
But I will say that when your leverage is so much longer than the other guy,
Yeah.
what happens is that you have to drop down.
So that you can be at the same level as your opponent at the start. Which is a disadvantage?
I feel, to a certain extent, because if a guy is really, really short, is when I also have to come down. So my move needs to be even harder up.
Yeah.
Compared to when I pull someone with similar leverage, it's not as bad.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'd rather have a long arm than a short arm. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I agree with you. I would rather have a longer arm, actually. Yeah, and bigger hands.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. So your training's been good. You're going to the tournament this weekend.
Yep.
It's gonna be. I think you do well. It's gonna be live on YouTube, or?
Not too sure if it's going to be live, but I know it will be recorded.
Yeah.
From Picton YouTube Arm Wrestling. Check them out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna check that one out. Maybe I put a link.
Yeah. And I feel, I'll be honest with you, I feel the strongest I've ever been. Honestly, like right now, the numbers I'm lifting are like blowing out what I used to lift by far.
Yeah. Are you talking about both arms or just the right?
My left at the moment is injured. It's been injured since August.
Yeah.
In my thumb. So a lot of things I do go through my thumb, so it kind of hurts. But my right arm is as healthy as it can be, and it's coming for souls.
Yeah, so now let's kind of jump to another topic. You remember arm wrestling for the first time, there's a lot of pain. It's a lot of pain. A lot of frustration too, I think, for a lot of people. So do you have any advice for like new arm wrestlers that are starting out, and what encouragement that you want to give them, or tips that you might have for them as a new arm wrestler?
Well, the one main thing I've realized from people that first show up is that everyone wants to try to win.
Yeah.
Learn to lose when you first start, because you're most likely not going to beat nobody.
Yeah.
And because why I say learn to lose, because when you try so hard to win is when you hurt yourself.
Yeah.
And hurting yourself, what it does is bring you back. While your goal is to bring yourself forward.
Yeah.
So it's more of learn to lose, but also learn the skill of arm wrestling. when that comes, winning will come.
Yeah.
And the less you get hurt, the stronger you become.
Yeah, because the recovery time will be decreased.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So one of my main tips for new beginners, I would say, is that, like I said, learn to lose.
Yeah.
Learn to have the skills of arm wrestling and try to soak up as much as you can from others. Always ask questions.
Yeah. There's another thing maybe I should add is safety. I think safety is the first thing that they need to learn. Learn, right? Because the first time arm wrestling, you don't know how to be safe, right? You put yourself in a bad position when you don't know that you're in a bad position.
You don't even know. That is definitely the worst thing when you see people that have never arm wrestled. They put themselves in the worst situations and they don't even know.
Yeah.
Their arm is behind their shoulder and you tell them, look at your hand. Yeah. So they start looking at their left. It's like, no, look at the hand you're arm wrestling with. Because the thing is that we've all grew up with an imagination of what arm wrestling is. A lot of us think it's just, people show up to think
that's
it's just...
the shortcut to win it, right? But just like anything, you take shortcut, you're going to get hurt, right?
Yeah, so pretty much that's like one of the main things, because like I said, if you learn to lose, you won't hurt yourself because the only reason why you put yourself in a bad position because you want to beat everybody you arm wrestle with. Yeah.
So take some time, find a club, and learn from people that have been doing it longer than you, and you will soak up the information that you need to become a better arm wrestler.
And have fun. I think
that's the most important thing. You gotta have fun. If you don't have fun, then
enjoy it. Have fun. That's one of my biggest thing when I tell guys when they first start, have fun.
And get big arms.
Oh man, bigger form. That's like the best upside of arm wrestling. You just get massive.
Yeah, my body has changed a lot. I feel like I was a skinny person, came from soccer.
Yeah.
So now I feel like my upper body has caught up to my lower body.
Legs? We don't worry about legs or arm wrestlers here.
Yeah, that's important. Arm wrestling for the first time, learn the safety, learn from people who has been arm wrestling for longer than you.
Don't be scared to ask questions, right?
Yeah.
For the most part, when you're new, guys are going to be willing to give you those tips. But once you start getting better, like I've realized I've gotten better, less tips you get.
Yeah, because you find out that things that work and things that don't work.
Exactly. Yeah. Because let's say, as me as a tall top roller and you as a shorter top roller, what works for me might not work for you.
Yeah.
So that's why I say everything you learn from others, try to switch it up for it to work for you, right?
Yeah. Okay, so that's good. Good information from new arm wrestlers. Because you're from Ottawa High Hookers.
Oh yeah.
The main man, Devon. So I wanted to ask you this too. What is it like training with him? And how much have you learned from him as an arm wrestler to get better?
Honestly, it's a privilege, number one, to be able to practice weekly with one of the best in the world at it.
Yeah.
Pretty much the GOAT in my eyes.
He's number 2 right now.
Yeah. No.
Right.
For now, he's number 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely an honor and privilege to train with him on a weekly basis. And honestly, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be arm wrestling today.
Yeah.
So, and the things I've learned from him is not so much by asking questions, weirdly. It's mainly when I pull him, is when I get information. Because I understand, I try to feel what he's doing. And I ask questions that are subtle, but I don't really ask him to give me tips. But it's more okay, this is how you feel, this is what you do. So I try to implement what he does into my own game.
Yeah.
In my own way.
Yeah.
But honestly, just the fact that I'm lucky enough and blessed enough to pull with him and learn from him is incredible.
Yeah, and especially when your size is similar to his.
Yeah.
Right? For me, training with him is different. I've learned a lot from him too. I can imagine that someone who's the same size as him will learn a lot from him because you can kind of copy and
a lot of things that he does can work for me pretty much, right?
Yeah. So when he tells me something, I learned from it, but I sometimes can't apply with
Yeah.
because my structure is different. Like I'm way smaller and
Yeah.
I'm way shorter. But in terms of tips and other things that I've learned, it's incredible. Like for me, he can teach really well. So
One of the greatest things he's ever shown me is pulling the straps.
yeah,
People that hold on don't really know how to arm wrestle.
yeah. Now let's talk about the big match this past
That
week.
was an incredible event.
So give me your analysis. Like, what was your reaction like in the first round when he stopped Levan?
Dude, I'll be honest with you, like, even before the match started, my heart was beating like 1,000 beats a minute. Like, I was so stressed. And then when round one started and he got the center table stop, I thought I was dead and I was in heaven.
Yeah, I thought it was over. The match was over.
Dude,
there.
I'm like, ain't no way he stopped Levan center table round one.
Yeah.
And then you realize that Levan also has more than one tool.
He's very versatile. He's an arm wrestler, a really good arm wrestler. He's just not strong. He's also an arm wrestler.
Exactly. Which people kind of like, when you're so strong, people don't really put that in account that he is a good arm wrestler because, yes, Devon got the stop round one. And as you can see, when Levan was going for the pin, he started losing his wrist. But as a smart arm wrestler, he got behind his hand, went for the press.
Yeah.
And then as the rounds went, we all know what happened after the couple next rounds.
Yeah.
Levan didn't let that happen anymore.
Yeah. I think he figured it out in the setup. I think he was able to, I don't know, maybe have a higher hand that he can kind of hide where he lost the position that he lost in the first round.
Because we all know he also came back from a wrist injury, right?
Yeah.
And Devon was really banking on training his pronator to crack Levan's wrist.
Yeah.
So I guess after round one, Levan kind of figured out that, okay, if I let Devon get a good pronation lock from the setup, it's going to pretty much damage my wrist.
Yeah.
So what he did is pretty much side pressure.
Yeah. The press that he did in the first round was smart because I think it took a lot out of Devon.
Definitely.
Yeah, it really stretched Devon out. You know, Devon doesn't have a straight arm, right?
No.
I feel like during the match, he's like all the way up here. You know, if your arm doesn't straighten out properly, fully, and during the match you stretch out. I think there's a lot that
I think just round one just took everything out of Devon. He took everything out of him to really stop Levan, like the strongest arm wrestler there is in history, to stop him middle center.
Now, when Devon stopped Levan in the center, I need to go back and watch it, but I feel like he's still there. He's not surging. He's not trying to pin. Do you think that Devon was maybe he has a good position? This is a chance for him to bleed out Levan.
I think, I'm with the same thinking as you, that I think he felt like he had a good setup, good lock there, and I think he was going to try to bleed him out.
Yeah. But I also think that maybe he can't pin him right away.
That too.
That because I can feel like he's really holding on, and I think Devon knew that Levan is going to transition to a press. But at that point that he realized it, he couldn't do it.
It's too late.
It's too late, and the only option that he had left is to really prone it out fully and go full King's
move.
Yeah.
But what do you want to do when a 400-pound man starts pressing on your arm, right?
That is crazy, and
to me, honestly, that round one showed how much stronger Devon got because. If you guys look back at the first match they had, it was nowhere near that.
Yeah.
Nowhere near that. And that's, like Devon says, that was a year and 10 months ago.
Yeah.
And that proves to me that if you dedicate yourself, maybe he didn't get the outcome he wanted, but to me, it proved that what he's doing is working.
Yeah.
Because to be able to be holding the strongest guy in the world at arm wrestling center table, it's crazy.
When he was fresh, you know.
Round one,
which is man, our reaction was,
I think the whole
Crazy.
world went crazy that day.
yeah, it would have broke
Man.
internet.
It was incredible to see, though. It was incredible. And also being a part of the preparation is something I really cherish.
Yeah, you were one of his training partners to get ready.
I'm just glad I can help him work out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like at first, when I first started arm wrestling with him, I don't even think he felt me.
Yeah, so now let's talk about that a little bit, because training with someone a lot weaker than you, it's still training, right?
Oh, indeed.
Why is it still training when you train it with someone smaller or much weaker than you?
Well, the thing is, like I say, why our club is the best in the world is because we get stronger together.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe me arm wrestling you won't gain me much, but it'll help you a lot.
Yeah.
Which at the same way helps me. Because if you get better, I get better.
Yeah.
Because the stronger you get, the stronger I'll get. And as a unit, that's what you want.
Yeah.
Because you're only stronger as your weakest link.
Yeah.
So to me, I'll arm wrestle anybody. If you're stronger, you weaker, same strength, I arm wrestle anybody.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Most of the time, like I say, like 90% of the time, I'm arm wrestling a stronger person.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, and I feel like I get stronger
Definitely.
every time too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing with arm wrestling because it's a very unique sport. So people don't understand, like, oh, well, why would you arm wrestle somebody that's stronger than you? Or why would you arm wrestle someone that's weaker than you?
Yeah.
It's more than just that. Because you can still learn your craft through just arm wrestling.
Yeah, you arm wrestle with a weaker person, you work on positioning, giving up something to work on that.
Exactly.
In order to get better at that position, right? So yeah, the training method, it's like we train really well at Ottawa High Hookers. Yeah, anyone from like kids to basically a world champion.
Pretty much. That's crazy to say because when I first started, I think we had 6 people at practice.
Yeah.
Now you go to practice on Mondays, there's like 50. Yeah. And from all different ranges of life, ages.
Yeah.
A little bit more girls now, not so much.
Yeah, I would have liked, for them to enter because I feel like girls can be great arm wrestlers.
Yeah,
right.
Just like men. There's great females arm wrestlers out there in the world that need more exposure so girls can look up to somebody like them.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard for a girl to look up to Devon, right?
Yeah.
But then let's say if there's a girl out there that they look up to, who knows what could happen.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, Jon, so tournament this weekend. I hope you do well. I'll be looking out for the highlights. And good luck with that. I'm very happy to be part of, the group. And I think I get stronger that way too.
So, definitely. Yeah. You've come a long way, man.
Yeah. I'm going heavier too. I'm like 130 now.
Massive.
Oh my God.
Massive.
It's like, it's the biggest thing for me right now. I feel like I'm so happy to get to that point, but I think I will get to 155 in the next 2 years. Anything left to say? I think.
Hey, you guys need to help this guy out here. Subscribe because he doesn't have any blinds here. So please, guys, help him out. Okay, he's a great guy, and I love what you're doing, brother. Keep it up. Promoting arm wrestling. Follow me on all social medias. Slim Reaper on Instagram, baby.
Yeah, coming soon. Top level arm wrestler from Ottawa High Hookers. 220 something.
Let's go. Good stuff.